Up to 40% off your first year with my name, Buck, as your promo code. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go online to lifelock.com and use promo code BUCK for 40% off.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Mic drops that never sounded so good. Find them on the free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic and weather coming up right here on News Radio WFLA.
On a beautiful day or worse during a storm, climbing a ladder to unclog gutters is the last thing anyone wants to do. If you're tired of cleaning out gutters, get Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
Leaf Filter trusted pros will clean out, realign, and seal your gutters. Then install Leaf Filter, the permanent solution to clogged gutters. You're going to want their help and this service, and now's the best time of year to do this. Right now, get 20% off your entire purchase with an additional 10% off for seniors and veterans.
Clogs can cause costly water damage to roofs, siding, foundations, and more. Leaf Filter's patented technology is designed to keep out everything but water. No holes or gaps means no debris.
Keep your gutters clog-free for good and never have to clean them out again. Their transferable warranty guarantees it. Protect your home and put away the ladder. Get your free inspection and up to 30% off at leaffilter.com/clayandbuck. That's LEAF filter.com/clayandbuck.
Get into summer with iHeart 80s. iHeart 80s goes commercial-free this weekend and every weekend. Open the app, search iHeart 80s, and start listening now. Free never sounded so good.
For years, I was living in constant pain. There were days I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't paint, I couldn't write. Honestly, it was so bad I had a hard time even doing work. I tried to tough it out and just grin and bear it until Tanya finally, after we went to the Mayo Clinic, we went everywhere. And Tanya had heard about Relief Factor on the Blaze, and she said, why don't you try that? She kind of pretty much made me try it, and it was amazing. It's been a miracle. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free. It's a daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally, and it was developed by doctors. It uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where the pain starts, and Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with mind over matter. Try Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-4RELIEF. Save on your first order. It's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. You probably heard me endorse Why Refi for some time now, and yes, many of my talk radio colleagues do as well. Now, what makes Why Refi so different from other investments? Well, let's quickly break it down. Why Refi offers a secure, collateralized portfolio with a strong fixed rate of return up to 10.25%. There is no attack on your principal if you ever need your money back, and you are in control the whole way. Now, you can let your investment compound daily or take income, whatever you choose. There are absolutely no fees, and an investment in Why Refi is an investment in America's future. Simply call 888-WHY-REFI-24. That's 888-WHY-REFI-24, and you will not get a sales pitch, just the information you need to see for yourself if Why Refi is a better investment option for you. So go to investwhyrefi.com. That's investwhy.com. Tell them Sean Hannity sent you.
Here's what Fence Outlet customers had to say about their experience.
Now that the kids are getting older, we need to get a fence installed because we don't want them wandering into the lake in our backyard, and we most certainly did not want the alligators crawling into our backyard either. So once we called, they came and they surveyed our yard. They showed us what the options were. In a couple of weeks, they installed the fence, and we were good to go. I'm glad we picked Fence Outlet. They did a really good job.
See for yourself. Go to fenceoutlet.com. That's fenceoutlet.com.
License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Injured at work? Don't settle for less than you need. Bernetti PA is ready to work for the compensation you deserve. You know who to call. Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready.
Office Tampa, Lakeland, Clearwater, Sarasota. Get your most accurate home value estimate at DuncanDuo.com.
News Radio WFLA returns to Clay and Buck.
Welcome back in, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. I want to give you this website. Instead of emailing Buck or me and saying they're going to cheat, I want you to go, if you are desperately concerned about this, to protectthevote.com, and I want you to be one of the 100,000 people that is volunteering to watch the votes be cast and to be involved in election security on behalf of the Republican Party. I don't like people who sit around anonymously on social media and just don't ever take action. They just potshot. So if you are, and I understand why many of you are, that's why I'm giving you the website right now. If you are out there and you are desperately concerned about this, go to protectthevote.com. My wife was concerned about this. You know what she did? She got trained. She's an election monitor now. She works at our local place, our local voting site, and is in charge. She's the one who gave me my voting slip to go cast my vote in the Tennessee primary. She was concerned about this. She had the ability and the time to be able to volunteer, and now she is a monitor at our local election site. If you are desperately concerned about this, protectthevote.com. And if you're working all the time, I understand that, find someone else with a similar stance to you and get them to sign up so that they're your mom or your dad, your grandparents, somebody else that has more flexible time than you might. Maybe you got young kids, you don't have a lot of flexibility. Protectthevote.com. To me, Buck, I want 100,000 of you signed up. I want way more than 100,000 of you signed up because I think that is super important to be able to be on top of.
I totally agree. I think that it's game time, and anything that can be done by Americans of good faith who want to see a fair election and want to see that the only legal votes, every legal vote and only legal votes are counted, there are ways you can be helpful in this process. But I just also want to go on the record. Trust me, Molly Hemingway is a friend. I've read Rigged. We covered the election in 2020. We're all very aware, and we're going to cover it as we get closer. But we do have to talk about this election as though it's something that we can still win, because we can. Bottom line.
Also, you got to focus on the future, not the past, when it comes to who wins elections. Your hard-earned savings loses value if you keep it in cash in a savings account. Don't get me wrong, we all should have money in savings, but holding some in cash and some in gold is a smart move financially as well. Inflation, the federal government deficit only lower the value of the dollar in spending power. How you protect the value of the dollar in your savings account from inflation is up to you. Investing some portion in gold, one smart way to protect the value of your savings account. Gold's become easy to access, easy to own, whether you want it in your savings account, 401k, IRA. Birch Gold is who we trust to make your first purchase or your latest purchase of gold that much easier. To get hooked up, go to Birch Gold and call. Text 989898 to claim your free, no obligation info kit. Text
this is
my
Clay
name,
Travis
Clay,
and Buck Sexton on News Radio
to
WFLA.
98989898.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk. This is News Radio WFLA, serving Tampa Bay with news, traffic, and weather, top and bottom of every hour, streaming live on the free iHeartRadio app at WFLAnews.com.
Well, I'm Gordon Bird. Our top story at 12:30, Governor DeSantis is in town giving a grant to St. Pete College worth $7 million to develop a semiconductor workforce program. Polk County schools are the latest to add school bus cameras to catch drivers who pass when the stop sign is out. Superintendent Fred Hyde says 22 students in Polk were killed in traffic accidents last year.
The number of viewings and funerals that we've attended this last year is unprecedented and unacceptable. Our students should not be put in that position.
Sheriff Grady Judd says there will be an educational period before deputies start handing out tickets. The video will be reviewed before warnings or citations are issued. Gas up a second day in a row. AAA says the average price is $3.46 a gallon around the state. In the Tampa Bay area, it's almost $3.49. I'm Gordon Bird, News Radio WFLA.
Visit your local Lexus dealer or go to Lexus.com to find the dealer nearest you.
This summer, enjoy less tan lines and more dashed white lines. Less theme park lines and more instantaneous power. Less behind the desk and more behind the wheel. Find the one for you this summer at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Get offers on select Lexus electrified vehicles. But hurry, the opportunity ends September 3rd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
The latest traffic and weather.
A St. Pete crash blocks Tyrone Boulevard at 71st Street. Odessa accident, eastbound State Road 54. At Crossings Boulevard, left lane blocked. This report is sponsored by Red Pills America. This week on Red Pills America, Patrick and Adriana take a deep dive into the cryptocurrency industry by telling the story of the rise and fall of the crypto entrepreneur Sam Bankman-Fried. Listen to Red Pills America anywhere you listen to podcasts. That's Red Pills America. Amy Snyder, News Radio, WFLA.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Definitely another scorcher out there. Afternoon high of 93, feeling well into the triple digits through the afternoon. And the storms are going to start firing up late this afternoon and evening. There's about a 60% chance, mostly along the I-75 corridor before drifting into the Gulf of Mexico. And lows tonight in the upper 70s. We do it all again tomorrow. A 50% chance of late day storms and a high of 94. Out on the water today, southeast winds at 5 to 10 knots and seas at 2 feet. I'm Max Defender 8 meteorologist Lee Span.
This report is sponsored by Banco Overhead Doors.
The 2024 Remodeling Magazine Cost versus Value Report proves it.
A new garage door offers 150% return on your investment.
And Banco Overhead Doors has a beautiful selection of Clopay garage doors.
Schedule your free estimate at bancodoors.com.
If you've recently been laid off or still have a 401k account with a previous employer, do yourself a favor and act today. This is urgent. Hi, Bobby Maggie here. Your 401k is critical to your retirement satisfaction and survival. At Maggie Tax, we've been helping many people maximize their qualified accounts, and we'd be happy to help you. That means maximizing your returns while minimizing taxes, and whether you utilize us or not, just make sure you're working with a qualified professional. Call us at 833-MAGGIE-TAX or visit our website at maggietax.com.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly at Florida1hour.com. Schedule now at Florida1hour.com. And remember, we're always on time. Oh, you don't pay it time. Always on time. Oh, you don't pay it time. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
At public.com, you can invest in stocks, options, bonds, crypto, and more. Plus, you can earn an industry-leading 5.1% APY on your cash while you're at it. So why juggle multiple investing apps when you can have one that does it all? Invest with Public, a U.S.-based company with award-winning customer support. Meet your new primary portfolio at public.com. All your investing in one place. 5.1% APY is a 521, subject to change. All investing involves risk. Brokerage services for U.S.-listed securities, options, and bonds, and a self-directed brokerage account are offered by Public Investing, member FINRA, and SIPIC. Not a bank, not investment advice.
When it's time to do a bathroom renovation, don't mess around with those gimmicks and the plastic and they're done in a day nonsense. Reach out to my friends at Bathmasters. They are the masters of bathroom renovation. Their team has over 1,000 years of combined experience. They pull all the permits. They make sure the job is done right. And you can check out their beautiful showroom on Almerton Road. Call Bathmasters at 1-800-MASTERS or visit them at 1-800-MASTERS.com. Bathmasters, the masters of bathroom renovation.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
WFLA News is brought to you by Safe Touch Security.
It's Ryan.
And I'm Dana.
Wake up with us tomorrow morning at 5 on The Ryan Gorman Show.
On News Radio WFLA.
How dare you, sir, talk about Kamala Harris as a political candidate that you're allowed to criticize? How dare you? And particularly this is cut 7 coming up here, they get very agitated about Kamala Harris as the ultimate DEI hire. Scarborough very upset. Play it.
You've got Republicans being just total idiots, attacking her as being a DEI candidate. And I will tell you, 99% of Americans don't even know what those letters stand for. But they know that it's probably racist. And it's just not the way to go. But when I look at the vice president, I'm just looking at somebody that is a generation younger than Donald Trump. And I think it's going to energize a lot of people that Democrats need to win this election.
All right, everything Country Club Joe there said was wrong. First of all, the notion that 99% of people don't know what DEI is. If you have gone to college, you know what DEI is very well because you were like a re-education camp in Maoist China. You're just being beaten down with it all the time. If you have a job in corporate America, Clay, do you get this too? Do you ever get the text or the email for a friend who's like, don't tell anyone you got this from me, and it's like some DEI slide or something.
Yes.
I get this from like extended family, and they're like, "Oh, you see what they're doing at my company? Don't share this with anyone." Though I'm like, "Well, why are you sending it to like? Why am I the the holder of the crazy DEI stuff? But you don't want me to tell everybody? Oh, I don't want them to trace it back to me. Anyway, that happens all the time. So no, 99% of people don't know. That would be like saying 99% of people 20 years ago don't know what affirmative action is. DEI is just the new branding of affirmative action to make it seem more science-y and corporate, DEI. And also to change, they have to keep doing this. Just like they're liberals, then they're progressives, then they're, now they're communists, but they keep changing what they like to be called because eventually people figure out what they're really all about and they have to do a rebranding. So the 99% thing is absolutely idiotic. And I do think that the main way to attack Kamala Harris, we'll talk to our friend Tommy Lahren about this one later. I think that the ad that we played before, though, Clay, I know Trump's people, some of you listen right now, and we love you. We appreciate you. I don't know. Big guy's probably not listening. He's probably on the golf course. Please get her to say that she wants to ban fracking on that debate stage. And don't let her talk around it. Please get her to say that she wants to ban. Because if you think you're going to win Pennsylvania, if you think you're going to win white working class votes in the Midwest who recognize what energy costs are doing to their monthly budget and also to their business, to their employer, banning fracking would take us back 50 years in terms of our economic productivity. I mean, it would be a nightmare. It would be insane.
So I want to hit that DEI thing that Joe Scarborough talked about. And this is how I would handle this if I were the Trump team or if I'm out there on the campaign trail. Kamala is a DEI hire. We know this because Joe Biden specifically said, remember, this is very important, that he was going to hire a woman to be his vice presidential candidate. He eliminated all men and said, I'm going to put a woman on this ticket as my vice president. That means that he wasn't picking the best person, man or woman, by the purposes of his own criteria. Also, Biden, around the same time, said that he was going to put a black woman on the Supreme Court. That means that he eliminated everyone else from consideration. You can't tell everybody that you're going to hire based on race and gender, then make a hire based on race and gender, and say you aren't allowed to attack the hire that was by its explicit terminology made based on race and gender. Buck, I said this at the time. It's insulting, actually, to say I'm going to pick someone based on their race and gender. You could have put a list out when you picked Ketanji Brown Jackson, like Trump did, of 20 names, and you could have said, I'm going to pick somebody off this list. And then when you pick Ketanji Brown Jackson, some of us might think, oh, he did that because she's a black woman, but he wouldn't have explicitly said it. And he could have said the same thing about VPs. He could have said, I looked at everybody. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, male, female, gay, straight, and Kamala Harris was the best pick for the country. I wouldn't have agreed. But when you specifically tell us that you're going to pick somebody of a specific race and gender, and then you do it, you actually, by having done that, undercut their own accomplishment and make it clear what you're doing.
I also think we have to remember that we are in a new legal era now, in a sense. The Supreme Court has said you're not allowed to make admissions decisions for colleges based on skin color. Now, that is still happening, unfortunately, because the system is so ingrained and entrenched, and they play games. They're lying about it. So they're basically continuing discrimination. And by the way, when there was this true systemic racism in this country, even when laws would change, it would take time because people would still violate the law and they would still discriminate. We all know. Well, now they moved in the other direction where there's discrimination legally against white and Asian college applicants, job seekers, etc. And it's going to take time to move this back toward what we should have, which is a colorblind society, a society where we're just, everyone's an individual, everyone gets an equal shot, everyone has the same protection of the laws. And, to the degree the law can do such a thing. And I just think that the whole Democrat concept that Joe Biden pushed forward more blatantly than anyone else, I'm only going to pick a black woman for the Supreme Court. That's unethical, actually. Yes. That's unethical, and I should note, illegal. He shouldn't be doing that. Like, if an employer were to do that now, if an employer blatantly came out and said, I am only hiring, and it doesn't be black women, it could be anything. Imagine if you came out saying, I'm only hiring white guys. You're begging to be sued. Well, right, I know. Right, but I'm saying, you're begging to be sued. You're begging to be attacked legally, and you would lose. So this is just starting to, come into the consciousness of the American people. Not only is DEI promoting people that shouldn't be promoted in different roles and giving people opportunities at the expense of other Americans who have, based on the metrics that we can look at, earned it more, it's unconstitutional. So though Kamala as the ultimate DEI hire, it's kind of a test of, do we reject DEI as a country now? Because we should.
Yes. And also the problem with DEI, which you're right, Scarborough saying 99% of people don't even know what this is. No, you all do. If you have to take a seminar on colorblindness or whatever the heck it's called, anti-racism training, which a lot of
it's definitely not colorblindness. It's obsession with people's skin color.
It's anti-racism training, whatever it's called. These days, I can't even keep up with what it's called. You all know what this is, and what you also see is that this is used as both sword and shield. It's the reason why you get something, and also simultaneously an unattackable and unassailable position. And what a lot of you see in your own life is people with DEI get jobs they would never otherwise have gotten, sometimes continue to get promoted until at some point their own inability to do the job explodes and there are consequences inside of your companies. This has happened at every company in America. This is why, as someone who ran a company until I sold it 3 years ago, I spent a lot of time talking about culture, because one of the great quotes I heard from an SEC football coach years ago was, you recruit your problems, you hire your problems inside of companies. You bring them in, it's a Trojan horse.